Hey there, it's Winston. It's day 153 of Walk with Winston, and I am so happy that you joined me today. I invite you to go to winstonfaircloth.com and enroll there for an upcoming ebook that's about to release, 7 Lessons from Building a 7-Figure Business. And so today I want to share with you the moment I became a 7-figure CEO. Now, a lot of people associate that statement with the day that my bank account or the revenue line in our business crossed into $1 million a year. And while that is literally the moment that a business becomes a 7-figure or multi-million-dollar business, there's a moment much earlier when you become the 7-figure CEO. So let's talk about that moment. So I had a very successful season 1 career right out of college. And for 18 years, I had executive roles in multiple branches of a not-for-profit organization. And in that case, I was leading teams that were responsible for multi-million dollars of revenue per year. And I had ascended to national prominence through a number of activities and associations and projects that I'd led for our national association from time to time. But there was a moment, 18 years in that season, where I became a 7-figure entrepreneur. And that moment was one morning. It was a Wednesday morning. I was living in a college town. I had been CEO of this particular branch of the organization for 7 years. And we were having our monthly breakfast meeting with my board chair. And he came in. We always met like 7:30 in the morning. And the board chair came in that morning. He said, "I hate to inform you, but your services are no longer needed with our organization." I don't know if you have been fired from a job before, but whether it's for cause or not cause or whatever the background is, where you're separated from your organization, and it's like for me it was like a slow motion car wreck. I remember every moment. I remember the clock on the wall. I remember what was on the table. I remember feeling very out of body experience of walking down the steps, 7 floors down to where I parked my car. And it was probably one of the most devastating days in my early career to have built such equity and such responsibility in an organization I really loved, and to be let go. But God is so gracious, and God is He's got this plan that we don't always understand. And 2 years before, I had been really curious about how we could be more community facing in this organization. I felt that we were really too heavy in our back office operations. And so I befriended some people in town who were really experts at this kind of work, of really evaluating how you could become more efficient in your back office. And over the course of those 2 years prior to this dismissal, I had developed and honed a curiosity and had executed a project where we had partnered up with a sister organization to our north to handle many of the back office activities in our organization. And in so doing, had radically shifted our allocation of internal resources to be more community facing. Well, that was so groundbreaking. And so contrary to the norms in our industry, that the moment that I was dismissed, I knew that there was a seed of a business opportunity here. I didn't know how or why or what, but I just knew that I was onto something. And the exit from my company and the recognition that I had accidentally stumbled upon value for others was the moment that I knew I would be a 7-figure entrepreneur. Now, the next 18 months was an amazing journey of coincidental, and I use that word in air quotes, but these opportunities, these doors began to open. This path began to unfold. I cast a vision, and I was really fortunate to get the support of some early adopters who believed in the vision and actually paid for a service before it even existed. Well, I'm sharing with you the story to give you a little insight into the upcoming ebook that I'm about to release, 7 Figures from Building a 7-Figure Business. And this early journey was foundational. I'd never built a business before, and so a lot of this was on-the-job learning. And that business was the next season of my career, and it was a 15-year ride of figuring out from the ground up, from the idea to execution of the idea, several pricing iterations, and things I wished I had known then that I know now about building a multi-million-dollar business. So I invite you to consider that there is a moment well in advance of you realizing on paper a 7-figure business, and that moment comes from much more earlier, when you believe that you've hit on something that is so valuable, so groundbreaking, and so important that it can change the world. Now, did I have that vision crystallized in my mind at that moment? No. But I was determined I was going to find a way. And it was at that moment, not unlike the Velveteen Rabbit, that I became a real 7-figure CEO. So, good morning. Good morning. So I encourage you to download the book when it becomes available. Hop on the mailing list if you're not already there today. It's coming out here in just a few short days. But I invite you to make sure you're on the list so that you can get that book. And I look forward to working with you together to kind of process the lessons of the book and to believe that that 7-figure business is inside you. And in lesson 1, the main thing I share is that it usually is something super obvious and right underneath your feet, right inside your grasp, is something that you already see as an opportunity, and you just wonder why no one has solved that problem before. Well, that is the seed. That is the potential opportunity. It's something you have a lot of experience in, as something that you probably take for granted that other people would find valuable. Most often, my experience in observing and being part of multi-million-dollar businesses, the bulk of my career, has been that seed of an idea was super obvious to everyone around them. And it just was the one person who decided to embrace and take action on it. So my friend, you're already 7-figure CEO. You just don't believe it yet. You just don't know it yet. And I am super excited to walk alongside you and help you discover it, help you advance it, and help you to scale this little idea that's deep inside your head. With that, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon.